And to draft, we go and see whether the plan actually survives contact with not just the enemy, but whatever gets banned away. They're already largely done.
They did ban out the Galio. We were joking about this because IG, they used the Galio to counter the LeBlanc that Rookie had, and it allowed Nani to just shut down Rookie and just be more useful than them, even if he lost a load of farm. Now the LeBlanc's been locked in. What do they have as a second answer to Rookie's LeBlanc?
We end up in a very odd scenario here as well, where Rookie may well be playing his own skin, which is of course an Invictus Gaming skin, which gets all that nice bit of weird history stuff, because of course back when Rookie was the best in the world, he was on Invictus Gaming, and that skin is in some ways theirs as much as his. The Leona now a response, and they've got to have some ways of managing this big power pick that NIP have locked in. The Leona for Vampire has certainly been a comfort.
And potentially they could go towards a real kill lane bot lane as well. There's no Senna for Photic. He's typically looked better on the non-traditional ADC, so Jhin, Senna, stuff which doesn't have to play around the same kind of kite and weave style with the lower range AD carries. So maybe Arn could go towards something like a Draven, force it in with that Leona, potentially be helpful. Nani, though, again, we were asking, the big thing here is now, how do you answer the LeBlanc? It is going to be the Annie, which is very good at the point and click CC. We had seen the Malzahar from a couple of teams before to better and worse success. Nani's chosen the Annie.
And I feel like Annie has kind of not been meta, but has certainly been as a kind of counter pocket pick for a number of players. Been brought back here. Aki debating a Zyra. He's not been the greatest of AP junglers, and it would feel a little odd to lock in alongside the LeBlanc. I think wisely they go more towards the Skarner, which has been very, very strong, and is an excellent top lane bulwark / pick tool.
So we saw it hovered by IG, but Rumble has just been completely passed over so far. And IP not even going to lock that. Well, I mean, they've got the Skarner, so they don't need to just top lane right now. And Photic's going to go towards the Ashe. We did say he preferred to play towards the non-traditional utility AD carries. The Ashe is closer to that. And Arn is probably going to be playing Invictus Gaming Kai'Sa versus Rookie, who of course was part of the team which helped earn that skin. We did say that IG were potentially looking for a kill lane bot lane. This looks like it.
That should exactly be that. Little note as well, while we've got a brief moment here as well. The numbers for China's solo queue data has now become a bit more globally available, and one of the things that was pointed out is Skarner is non-existent in the jungle in China. Every other region has a fair amount of Skarner play in the jungle, not in China, so it tends to mean that when you do see a Skarner over here, for all that we've been true in pro play in general, it's nearly guaranteed to be top, more so than any other region anyway.
Yeah, we've barely seen it in jungle. We saw it one game in jungle on day one of LPL, I think, and then everywhere else, it has felt like it's largely been towards that top lane. Now you can see IG banning away some of, well, one of Aki's best picks in that Wukong. He's going to have access to some other bruiser type champions. He could potentially go towards something like the Vi as well, which is very good at catching champions like the Kai'Sa, slippery as she may be. NIP banning away instead some of Griffith's carry junglers, that Graves, which took them down in the first round robin, taken off the table. Maybe Viego could be taken off the table too.
Makes some sense. I think it is in fact gone. That's the other big farming AD jungler off the top of my head. Kindred, I suppose, still available. They could be a potential lock-in if they do want to kind of go towards that more voracious invade and carry style of AD jungler. See what Griffith might go towards. It will be the Rek'Sai, so I am seeing a theme here, Alex, and it looks like dive, just underlined in big capital letters.
Dodge, dip, and dive. So we have to dive twice. We've changed things. NIP needs to lock in their support, something which can survive in the spot side. We have seen some enchanters coming up in LCK, but typically draw has been more towards, again, the more kind of like pick and tank supports. Been hovering over a load of different ones over there. Again, remember, you're against the Leona and the Kai'Sa. It can be a bit of a kill lane. Rakan used to be countered by Leona, but because of his Q strength, it actually works quite well in terms of getting a fair amount of healing in laning phase. That's not bad for Draw getting his Rakan. It's one of his more comfortable picks.
Aki now debating a Sejuani, something he is, of course, very comfortable on. You don't have the most melee synergy, but of course, Rakan and the Skarner would be able to help with that, but debating a couple options here, so we'll just hold our breath and see what they decide to go towards. The Lee Sin LeBlanc combo is a very deadly one, particularly at that level 6 mark.
So it's last pick jungle for Griffith. I don't think this is going to be anything particularly special. I mean, yeah, I think the Xin Zhao's got a lot of value here, because you don't have, because of course the Rek'Sai can go top lane.
Of course, yeah.
You know what? There is actually a flex there. I've just been assuming that, it's the Rek'Sai. We mainly see that top lane within LPL. Of course, it was mainly jungle, actually, with the side. But looks like it's Griffith who's been hovering over different picks. Wants to get something as a more front-liney option there is the Xin Sao, which can have, of course, a lot of early power to deal with that Lee Sin as well. Xin Sao, Annie, LeBlanc, and Lee Sin. That's a pretty bursty 2v2 in mid lane. I'm hoping we get a lot of early skirmishes here, because we have a lot of champions which can start things off well.
A lot of dive on IG, a lot of pick on NIP, a lot of skirmishing on both. I completely agree with you. Those kind of first level 6 marks, those first kind of roams into river, the level 3-4 mark, I think they're going to get real spicy, mate.
Yeah, so what that means is we have to pay attention to early support and jungle movements, early laning trades, which can let that be a lot easier. What happens if Rookie massively outtrades an Annie? What happens if Arn can massively outtrade his opposing number in Photic on NIP? Maybe that can open up this early game. And whatever happens, NIP, they just don't want to let IG get their second series win on the board against them.
That would be disastrous, and the kind of run ender that would be pretty heartbreaking for a team here who are in their home arena looking to continue to prove that they can be what they were in spring. One of those top 4 teams for all it kind of fell apart and there was some fragility in their game score. They are still going to have to deliver now when things are a little bit more tough. Still smiles on the faces there. It is going to be Invictus Gaming LeBlanc versus Invictus Gaming Kaiser. Rookie skin, but an Invictus Gaming skin. Versus Invictus Gaming, of course. Who on the other side are locking in their own skin, but it's not Jackie Love playing it anymore. A lot of history between some of these players. A lot of history with some of these skins. Jayo's rung out. We're done with for now, and the violence on the rift now follows. Photic with a fantastic bush position in level 1 gets a flash off Nani, and Photic keeps going. Vampire's going to be chunked out here as well, hugely so.
Oh, the press, the attack, huge value. Luckily for the side of IG, that volley first level cooldown has been nerfed so much, which means that it is going to be just IG pushed back. It is going to be a recall in time for Vampire to... I don't think he blew apart. I think it should be okay in regards to that one. Nani losing flash, though. That's going to be important. We did say that NIP, if they needed to get some laning wins, that can really help when you're starting to get pushed up, know what the early jungle pattern can be as well.
No flash, not in lane early on. That's going to hurt for Nani. Similarly for Vampire. The only thing I'll say is Photic did burn a fair amount of mana. Of course, has had a little bit of time to regen that, but it still could prove problematic if they want to continue to trade hard.
Yeah, so it's going to be Vampire being a little bit later to lane foes. Of course, very strong level 1 trades with press the attack and the ability to use that volley to either engage or chase down with approach velocity. Arn and Vampire still going to get themselves access to the first level XP, though.
Some extreme posturing there from NIP, looking to try and continue the aggression they started way up in mid lane. Arn gets off a Cathian Rain.
Yeah, I liked what Arn did there, just in terms of using the Q and the auto to get both the minions and, of course, the champion damage as well. 2v2, though. If level 2 gets hit early from draw, this could be a flash in for a W.
There's the stun back, though. Shield of Daybreak is down. The turnaround, though, with the Gleaming Quill gives something back. We'll still get the flash and the heal off Duo there. Now,
the cleanse out. Vampire really battling for us. They don't have the level 2 yet. They need to get something. Duo just about his level 2, but didn't get the heal through that. So good trade back from Arn and Vampire.
He is here. There is no ward in the bush, so there is a potential for the lane gank. Xin Zhao a long way off for Griffith, so that easy to come and punish, and if you don't get to abuse the level 2 spike, they will really
I
wonder
whether Arn and Vampire know this is happening. You can tell that, you know, NIP, they have the jungle pathing information. They know that Griffith is heading towards bot side, but not on this timing. Going to get themselves the wave crash, and bot lane, although it looked initially pretty good for NIP, it's been battled back well by Arn and Vampire.
That was a really good use of that Shield of Daybreak. Didn't start with the Zenith Blade, went for the much longer stun there, even if it was a melee range option, and got a lot of value onto Zhou. And getting that flash, getting that heal out, really hurt for that level 2 spike.
Yeah. Just realized this game is like the game of Z names, which are quite hard to pronounce. So we've got Zuyan and there's Zhuo, which is that one actually that one gets me occasionally because the ZH is more like a J rather than a Zw or whatever. So yeah, I thought it was just like, huh, it's an odd little like similarity, but it's there.
Worth remembering. And especially because when we're kind of doing this as well, it's always one of those ones where you kind of don't have the...
You just kind of vibe, you wing it. It's like, this will be fine.
But it was also like, it's just like, don't have the same cultural reference, like frame point to work with.
When we did a lot of Japanese League of Legends over in the LGL, that happened too, where there was a player which we thought was called Rainer, which is Rainer. This is the difference in syllables and how it's pronounced as well.
R-A-I.
We've seen Nani. He's going to spot Aki taking that crab. I think OG, they've done fairly well in the early levels to make sure that early level one didn't lead to anything. But Nani doesn't have the wave in a good spot. Very good at avoiding that chain.
Yeah, that's the chain afterwards, though. Griffith is here, though, trying to body block for a win becomes lightning, because Rookie could potentially be in a spot of danger, just avoiding that particular W.
Yeah, Nani actually ended up putting Rookie into the middle of the minion wave, which traded out pretty well. Doesn't have flash to get away from one of these ganks, of course. And see that Griffith walking across that mid lane, just about arriving in time. But Draw was also on the roam. Both these supports, we said, very important how they roam early because of that early fracas in bot lane, but neither of them particularly getting ahead. They're both still unlocked.
Exactly, and actually credit to Nate for not having a flash, for not being there at the level 1 when the wave was crashing. Is even in farm doing just fine in terms of trading. It could have gone a lot worse here for IG. I think you're absolutely right, in 2 lanes, in fact.
So NIP, they haven't got themselves onto the board just yet. Aki on the Lee Sin, it's more towards his comfort style. Rookie on his LeBlanc, on his skin, of course, going towards his style as well. So IG needs to be careful to allow any kind of big opening into this game. We're getting towards the point where, again, level 6s are going to be hit and the burst is going to get much higher from that point.
Merc treads for both mid laners in a surprise, I think, to no one. That burst in pick CC could prove very deadly if it's not mitigated. Can't get away with Sork Pen boots or Ionian boots this time around.
Griffith's going to be spotted out by the map hacks of Photic. Did say that Photic again, another player on NIP that we've had criticism for.
I think that's fair.
But when he's on something which is a bit more utility based, like the Ashe, the Jhin, and the Senna have typically been his more powerful picks, but the Ashe as well, very, very strong for him. Mid lane, Nani, the wave's going to push into him, so it's going to look a little better than this. It's not like it's going to be stuck here for forever, but you can see that Rookie, on the whole, still having a decent time in this early lane, but Nani, all he needs to do is make sure that Rookie doesn't pop off. As long as he's within sight and can deal with him somewhat, I think IG get a win from that mid lane.
Yeah, Nani should get 6 off that wave. That's also partly why Rookie, with that momentary advantage, is just trying to deny what he can and threaten that ability to double up an ability with that Mimic.
So, getting to the point now where, of course, we have objectives on the board. Dragon's already taken by NIP. Grubs have not been taken by either side yet. But with Rookie's control of the mid lane, potential for NIP to go towards that. Thing is, because we got level 6 being hit by bot lane, maybe it's towards this instead.
NIP, Zenith Blade lands. Cleanse from Photic. The Grand Entrance is well buffered. Vampire still tanking, goes down, flash away. Photic still alive. Flash for the 3 Talon Strike knockup is good, but Arn in danger. A flash for the cripple and the slow, but there's a barrier buying some time. Aki can't secure the kill. It becomes a 1-for-1.
Oh, he goes right into the minion wave. Aki might have a Warthog. Who's coming down? It's going to be Rookie, but Nani's teleporting to follow.
Can try and go for that flash. Doesn't have the stun quite yet. They're in the alcove. Arn, now a known quantity. Flash in, gets the kill. There'll be a battle dance away. Rookie doesn't have the flash, but will have the distortion available. There's the stun afterwards. Not quite brought down. Still alive. Rookie still there. Gets another ethereal chain. That puts Nani in danger because he flashed it and he dies too. Oh. Wait, look at the bear chasing Rookie. Trying to get a last auto. He's dancing around. Griffith dies in the alcove. And NIP get everyone.
IG overextend on the dive and they can't pick up the pieces. NIP walk away with a huge amount of gold. Most of that gold got over to that mid laner. They really didn't want to pop off. IG, this early game, it was always going to be dangerous once that level 6 got hit. NIP just about getting away with that, losing just 1 somehow.
Yeah, and all the while, on the respawn, Photic goes and shoves in mid because Nani was dead and there was no teleport. So he gets a wave and a plate and feels pretty good, and Rookie walks away. Clearing bot lane, 2 kills to the goods. Yeah. I'm feeling very good about himself.
I'm almost certain we'll get ourselves a replay of that one. Arrow going towards top lane though, so it might delay that. It'll hit him under turret.
Ooh, my days, it nearly did as well.
Shanji had his ult, it would have been a lot of CC back to back. Now Griffith going towards his top side. We haven't really talked about top lane just yet because there's been a lot of drain tanking up there. But still, IG walking away. They still have level 6 to come on Vampire, so that Solar Flare yet to come through, using the Hawk Shot to check out this brush. Has Aki in his back pocket, this Photic. They should be safe to walk up to the tower.
Indeed, they'll lose a plate, but we'll get a look at the replay now, because this was a mess.
It was. You're doing this at level 5. Vampire goes in. He's just too far from the rest of his team, so I think Vampire kind of mistimes. You don't quite have that immediate follow-up, which means that he dies on the intro to this play. That's where things start to fall apart, because then you see Aki gets down in time. If you'd gotten a little bit of a quicker kill, you would have still had the Leona with the flash to contribute to this. And it feels like NIP just managed to get their pieces there at first. Rookie winning the mid lane trade, gets that push in, forces the teleport out from Nani, but he's not within flash range. Arn dies. Then because they don't have to go back towards, you know, the red side, they're going back towards their own turret. Nani's out of range again, and the clone being able to save from an extra auto attack might just have saved Rookie's life. Safeguard makes that sure as well. Rookie getting the better of this out of the mid laners.
The other thing is Griffith with no mana, not having that much value in the ability to follow up with something like a Wind Becomes Lightning or an Audacious Charge to do what Chinsaos can sometimes do at the end of plays, which is get onto targets that might otherwise be safe with that surprisingly long engage range.
We said that Grubs hadn't been started yet. Everyone was focusing on bot lane instead. Means that because of the bot lane victory for NIP and leading to a victory across the map, they're going to get themselves early Dragon, and they're going to get themselves the early Grubs as well. And they've got themselves leads across the board. NIP really feeling comfortable at this game now.
Now in a position where Rookie gets to hop forward with the Dark Seal in inventory, with that Hextech Alternator, and just continually look for chunks. He's going to be so accelerated towards that first item where LeBlanc really begins to pop off. Jewel might be in danger here, will be engaged on, but turns it around with a quickness into a grand entrance. Photic is here, begins to get that one down the double chain. Nowhere for Vampire to go, even though he has the flash. It's too clean.
You're going into the enemy jungle while your jungler's not there, while your mid lane has not got prio. That's really bold, and I think like IG, I think they were looking for a play from behind the course of the game. That to me is just unwise, and the thing is with IG is that they've occasionally fallen into this, where they just try and snatch and grab at plays with multiple people. I think Vampire and Arn just overthink it a bit.
And look, I think it's also a thematic dissonance going on. I know that the mythology of vampires has changed, but generally speaking, sunlight is anathema to vampires. And he's playing Leona, who is all about the sunlight, and I think that's a real problem.
No, sadly for Invictus Gaming, their support is the kind of vampire that sparkles rather than the scary kind. He does get the ult onto Photic. He has the cleanse, misses the Zenith Blade.
Killer Instinct goes forward. Photic stays alive now. It's a 3v3, and they've used so much. Vampire now in danger, has burned the flash, and the slows can be pretty dangerous, but NIP don't keep the chase up.
It's been a bit of a sad early game around the bot side for IG. A failed die with a bit miscoordinated on the distance. The bot side tri-brush play, and then missing an important skill shot at the end there on the Zenith Blade means that NIP are getting more out of this bot lane than they probably have any right to. Feels like IG have again tried to skirmish their way through to a victory, but this time NIP have really stood up and been counted for.
Yeah, they have. Of course, the lead bot lane isn't that huge because Arn has been CSing a little bit easier than Photic, who's been involved in a bit more skirmishing than that CSing. Dragon's been started. Rookie just hovering around the outside. Teleport coming in. NIP want this. Jaw goes in, grand entrance, goes to the back line. Oh my days, the damage is huge. Rookie needs to back away though as Tibbers comes crashing on down. A flash in for an impale, and we know what stakes do to the hearts of vampires. Bot lane dead. NIP win 2-0.
Yeah, IG, they walk forward without the Kaiser ultimate, without the ability to reposition their AD carry easily, and Shanji drops a rock on his head. They're going to get themselves a couple of plates top lane in kind of like in trade for the fight, but it feels like IG, just on the whole, they're a team which team fight above all else. But what happens when they can't do that? It has been a bit of problem in Zwean. He might just get chased down here.
He's being dragged back towards the turret. He realizes he's in danger. Another Distort comes on through, has actually got a tunnel out, so does make the escape happen, but that's because he spent his entire time mining rather than playing League of Legends.
That's great. Well, he's going to sit there with his diggy hole, and Suihan, oh no, he's hit Draw with a diamond sword.
Oh no, rock and stone, people.
Sam, that's a different game.
But it's still dwarves who dig holes.
That's great. Oh, see, the thing is, when it comes to dwarves, I only think of Warhammer Fantasy. So that one thing from Total War, Warhammer just, do you take me for a Wazak?
Do you take me for a Wazak? It's just, it's great.
And apparently Draw does. He just goes up and says, well, that's going in the book of grudges.
Yeah, I'm say, I'm grudging this one. Nani and DJ, he's definitely got a grudge at this point. Oh, Invictus Gaming, there's nowhere safe at this point.
Oh, and I think that bot lane lead has really just exploded across the rest of the map. Because it's not fair to say just bot lane, because it was bot lane skirmish lead, but really NIP winning through bot side so hard, partly on individual play and partly on team play as well, has then just exploded across the rest of the map. And it feels like IG just don't have the gold to be skirmishing layers. And the problem with IG, they don't know how to slow down. You know, Vampire's walking up without flash, without ult, doesn't get himself a big CC chain on the start of this, and his job is effectively just done at this point. Your front line can't do that much. Griffith has got his ultimate, but it feels like you're going in without the Kai'Sa ult, without the Leona ult, and you don't have the tools to fight for this. This was an unwise fight.
And between Merc Treads and a heal, yeah, you managed to stun Rookie up briefly, but he'd already taken Arm to a 3rd HP. He'd already gotten out, and suddenly you've used all your defensive tools to chunk a LeBlanc that's gone through her combo, and then everyone else goes to engage. You know what I mean? It's not that valuable. Now there's a Luden's Companion. Now the Dark Seal's got a few numbers attached to it. That gets increasingly scary to manage.
You can see right now that, you know, IG, they're really behind the game in regards to who can face check and check in the brushes as well. Photic has no cleanse but has flash. You can see that Joe feels like he's very healthy to go forwards. They're going to go forwards with potentially a Leona ult, but again, they can't catch this. Merc Treads recant that easily, and IG, again, they're spoiling for a fight, but they're currently 4,000 gold behind at 14 minutes. They don't have the tools for this.
Will say, though, that because they've at least got first item completions, in terms of combat power, this is probably the closest it's going to be for a while, because once NIP get another 2 minutes, that's going to be 2 items, not 1, and then the discrepancy is pretty unmanageable.
I love what Rookie's doing with these trades. When he sees the stun is up, he actually hops backwards so there can't be a follow-up set of damage. And that's a bad miss from Naney.
Oh boy, and now the turnaround gets pretty huge. Griffith pops the Crescent Guard. I think, unfortunately, they could use a little bit more damage. The arrow goes wide. Vampire's Eclipse burns out. Can maybe jumped on. The damage is huge. He's just not tanky without Aftershock. A flash over the wall for another Impale. Over the wall goes Zuian, who's got a flash and a dream and a Void Rush that will lead to no safety, you'd think. But wait, another tunnel. The mining continues, but I think this contract might be running out. No, wait. He's got a Blast Cone and a dream.
He's just got too much mobility, Zuian. I feel like he's the person who's just kind of like watched the rest of the map fall apart. Oh, I'm getting chased down.
Oh, I think that might just be The end is none needed at this point because it's just screaming mindlessly into the void. There's nothing much to do as Griffith shoved into a wall. The impact is Ixtalian. And it's another kill for NIP.
Tell you what, Photic has heard the criticism, folks, and he has come to play. I think the bot diff in this series, in this game so far, has been absolutely monstrous from NIP. Reminder, NIP, they were the only team to lose to Invictus Gaming in a series in Group D so far in the first round robin. They don't want that to become a second loss. This bot lane and the difference they've managed to put across this game has been absolutely absurd so far. And particularly when you're playing champions like Leona and Kai'Sa, if you're this far behind, you don't stop going in. You just go in and you start failing. And this is the problem. IG's composition, they have to go forwards. They just have to keep trying to find something. Griffith tries to find a chunk. He uses his ult very cheaply. They're lucky to get away from that arrow. But even with the arrow down, you know, Vampire, I think he's very greedy not to flash there. You had to flash. And at this point, sadly, you can't afford to be giving up like such freebies like this. You're going to lose top lane after this. You're going to lose mid lane after this too. We see what happens when he gets out, but Arn dies under the turret. NIP are just going from strength to strength. Fantastic skirmishes from them so far. On the other side, NIP, we've criticized them a lot for their early game and the way they played around comfort picks. Or rather not. Now they're going towards another team fight. Let's see if they can coup de grace.
Flash that Vampire held the last time. Is it going to be valuable here? He is hit with the Enchanted Crystalline Arrow into a grand entrance. The Solar Flare is cleansed from Photic, who now needs to go over the back of the pit, so not actually in this play right now. But the damage from the rest of NIP is just huge. Joe goes over the wall with a quickness, and a double distort gets a double kill for Rookie. Photic re-enters the fight, and it's another one affair for ninjas in pajamas.
Invictus Gaming don't know when not to fight. They can team fight, but they can't do it from this amount of gold down. It feels like the gold advantage really came to bear in that fight, and IG gonna lose themselves a dragon, lose a load of kills, lose themselves their last outer turret, and NIP are going to start eclipsing this game. Shanji might even be able to force the hell out of on. I was lucky to get away with his life there.
Fortunately for him, has still got a supercharge. It eats a boulder, courtesy of an upheaval, but that's about that.
And now we get to see, well, what's going to come up next. Because the thing is, IG, we know that they're not going to stop fighting. The question is, what can you get in an ideal fight? There's no cleanse on Photic. Rookie has Merc... Well, there are 4 Merc Treads elsewhere, which is really hard for Vampire to impact this game. And I feel like IG just needed the snowball. It's been so hard to get anything otherwise. Rookie getting a huge amount of damage, has the blighting jewel for... he's farming him for first strike gold at this point.
Pretty good. I think he might have completion on base as well, because he's already got the components. And a 10-stack Dark Seal. He might think about opening a library here. We'll keep our eyes on him. A couple options available to him. There's the Crypt Bloom.
There we go.
More ability haste, more
Alright.
pen. Always feels good. And a Magi. He's got both.
Folks, need we remind you, if you look in the emotes for this channel,
yes.
you might be able to tell I like a good read, and we might see what the last page of this book is written on.
Oh, they can go on forward. He's got a Crescent Guard and a Dream. And again, I think it's looking more like a broken circle at this point. He tries to escape with the Altazan, but Aki's having none of it. Just follows it with a Resonating Strike. Zuian tunnels under the wall, but you've just gone digging too deep. It's not a Balrog, but Skarner might as well be one at this point. Another kill, another tower, another one fight. Ninjas in Pajamas are laughing their way to a Game 1 victory. It'll be a sub-20 minute inhibitor.
Then Inhib might survive itself. We'll see whether they'll be... IG'll be given that one. They'll be gifted it. The Herald even charges into it for a bit more damage, but NIP going from strength to strength. This entire game felt like it leveraged off of that early bot lane dive, which just ended up failing. It's been so hard for IG to play around any of their frontline members. You see that Griffith, he's not really a frontline anymore. The Crescent Guard comes in, but it's just not enough to save him, because everyone can go into melee range for him. Same with Vampire and the rest of the team, right? Vampire's going in, but realistically, how much can you disrupt when you're at level 7 here? At this point in the game?
Now. He turns up now. It's too late. Everyone's dead.
Yeah, and there's a problem to this. The fact that your frontline is so weak that you need to be able to teleport in like 3 seconds in advance. You just don't have that window of error. IG, they have been continued throwing themselves against the wall. And
boy.
Getting absolutely chunked out. Barrier force.
And obviously after that teleport, there's a lot more stacks in the book. Another kill on the other side as Rookie dances on Arn, who's lost the barrier, needs to back away. Might try and punish Rookie, who is really looking to continue hopping forwards. Decides against it with the Leona there. Might still be a little bit at risk, but with 2 members on screen and a kill onto Zuian, they are accounting for 3 members. They can just start Baron with 3 members, while Shanji and Rookie body block everybody from getting into the enemy jungle.
Rookie's going to keep jumping forwards again. The Rookie even has Merc Treads. It's not like this is going to be a clean kill. Nani's on the flank, but is seen.
Indeed, Rookie's still here. They'll jump on to the Skarner, who doesn't care at all and will just press E. Griffith has to go over the wall. Shanji potentially in danger, but gets a good impale, and they do finally kill off the Skarner. Baron secured though. While all that was going on, Arn flashes for a last auto that doesn't succeed. Rookie went looking for something there, but couldn't find it. It's a 1-for-1. Rookie in danger, but I think that's still going to be enough time for him to W over a walls. We have flashes on forwards. Aki in the backline on 2 in a 1v3. Gets 1. Can begin to look for a little bit more. Body hops into the bush, looking for another Sonic wave. Secures it. Now needs to think about escaping from here. What he's turning into?
Aki's just got so many cooldowns. The Lee Sin gets his isolated skirmishes, and so many of the players in NIP, which we've criticized over the first round robin, are seriously kicking IG in the teeth. I think that Aki's had a great game on the Lee Sin. I think that Photo Control on the whole have had a really strong game for themselves too. They walk away with the Baron, they walk away with the skirmish afterwards, even though Shanji dies to buy time for it. IG, they get themselves 2 more kills, but that's it.
Oh, Arn, you can't beat that. He knows Rookie's there now, but I think it might be too late. There's no flash, there's no wall. He's dead.
Rookie goes in, mimics his way on top of the poor guy, so the Ash Arrow came in. I think that was called in advance, but Rookie, 22 stacks on the Magi's. He is an avid reader, one of my favorite players in the game. I like anyone who appreciates their reading material. Rookie on the LeBlanc. We said that IG, if they don't have the Galio, what have you got? The Annie has not been working with it. Huge individual advantage there. IG across the board have just fallen apart.
At this point, the damage is just so hard to manage from so many locations, and NIP's ability to find angles this game and be dangerous doing so is crazy. Everyone's got so much gold and so many items. Incidental poke is more like half your HP now.
Pass going in.
Let's get it charged into the wall. The damage is actually pretty good, but Aki has got a Skarner, like a Sterax and a Skarner in front of him, so he's not really a threat as Rookie hops forward and murders Vampire. And now the damage on the Griffin is good. Wait, that's a shutdown. That could prove pretty dangerous. The health bars on NIP, not fantastic. Void Rush forwards, can maybe get some more turned up. Those we had was feeling it. Maybe they felt that this was their moment. It just doesn't matter. and they still lose another member looking for more than was available. Shanji flashing for an upheaval, can look for a little bit more. The arrow lands, on gets a barrier, but the volley and a final auto means Photic gets on. Flash on forwards, how dare you kill our mid laner, say NIP.
And IG, maybe they take revenge on the Invictus Gaming LeBlanc who stood on the other side, but they will not find themselves a repeat performance of their series straight off. NIP cleanly take this first game, snowballed from the early game around that bot side. It has been comprehensive.
Photic dies after a flash forwards from Nani, but they teleport in. Vampire's trying to hold the wave, but there's just no wave clear. Still 10 seconds on. The last Nexus turret is done. And despite one final silver lining, one final consolation prize in that kill from Nani, it will not save the game. We will not see a repeat of BLG yesterday, and NIP win the first game in very dominant fashion.
NIP, there have been a number of complaints about the way this team has been playing so far in regards to how they have played around comfort picks, how they struggled to conform to the meta, but in this game, it was so comfortable. So comfortable for them. And for me, a lot of this happened with that early play around bot side, where the dive killed off Photic, but that was it. It was a bit slow on killing Photic. The game kind of snowballed away from that because the response from Rookie was so strong. Rookie monstered the mid lane. I think that the bot lane of Photic and Draw as well really had a standout performance. Question is now, when you don't have some of those big picks like the Ashe, which was obviously looking great for Photic, the LeBlanc, the Skarner, what can you do without these picks on the table now? Fearless Draft is going to be quite